What is up, guys? And welcome to VisualWood.
What is up? You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, man. Who is this stranger?
Oh my gosh, has it been 2 weeks?
Dude, yeah, what is it? It feels so crazy after just like we miss 1 week and it just feels like it's the longest period of time ever.
Yeah, so much stuff has happened, man. Like, holy crap.
I know.
Holy crap.
Just to share with everybody listening and how bad we joke that I'm a bad friend on the pod, right? Right. Just to accentuate this, last I heard of Matt, until I talked to him yesterday, last I heard of him was that he had been robbed, and I was like, "Dude, you doing all right?" And that was it. Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm sorry. How has life been? I'm gonna throw you straight in it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so interested.
Okay. All right. We don't have a lot of time because I have to go in less than an hour, but
basically life is very busy for the both of us at the moment.
Yeah. You just came back from family business, which I guess you're gonna talk after. All right, so I'll be quick. All right. So last week, this happened on a Thursday, right? Thursday around 5:30, right?
So this guys is the day we would have done VisualWood.
Yes.
But I had something pretty major come up, and we didn't do a pod last week.
Yeah.
We very rarely miss pods. The last time we missed a pod accidentally, we ended up going on break. No. Remember,
way back. Yeah.
Yeah, we've gone on break once with the pod for a few months. And that started with us accidentally missing a pod. And then the next week we were like, do we want to do it? We're like, nah, probably not.
It's so weird.
And that was, yeah. So like, it doesn't happen.
I was getting some work done. I decided to take a little break. And, matter of fact, okay, I'm going to go open this door real quick.
Oh, God, okay. Wait, what? What, the door in real life? The real life door or the meta?
I just want to make sure I can hear outside because it's around this time, Thursday, last week, where I started to hear a boom. Boom. And I'm like, bae? So I'm like, oh, my wife came home. Marjorie came home and she's putting some heavy stuff downstairs or something like that.
Wait. Hold on. Go back. Is she usually home at this time of day or is she still at work?
Sometimes she comes home a little bit early.
Okay, so there's a chance that your wife had come in early.
You're right. She comes usually after 6, right?
Okay.
With the new job, sometimes she gets off a little bit early. So I'm like, okay, no answer, and that's rare. So I'm like,
so wait, there's banging downstairs, but no answer from your wife.
Right, and see now my mind is like. Because in this neighborhood, ever since I've moved in, I'm a curious guy. I've always check out stuff. I always make sure, like, if I hear something, especially if the kids next door are making noises and stuff like that, I always check, to make sure that, because it always sounds like inside the house. I don't know if you guys are around the house and someone's outside banging
Dude, I totally
basketball.
Had that.
Yeah.
I was home alone. a couple of weeks ago, about a month or two ago, completely home alone. And the people next door to me, I'm in a semi-detached house. So basically, well, I'm actually in a continuous house. But basically, one of the walls, the wall that I'm speaking into right now, the wall I'm looking at right now, connects onto my neighbor's wall. And so their house is very close to ours. And if there's a lot of movement in there, you can't quite tell if it's their house or ours. And when I was home alone, I don't know, as soon as you're home alone, you start listening to a lot more noises. And I thought people in my house all the time. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm constantly listening because I'm home alone a lot. And I always check things out. I checked this one out.
The bangs. Describe the bangs to me. I want all the details.
It's like that type of bang, not like someone's knocking on your door bang, like a step further, like a level up, right? Just
of someone knocking on your door.
Like bang, like something's hitting against something.
But it sounds like they're slamming against your door.
Right. And now I know my neighbors moved out. The same ones who got their dog died on my lawn. Yeah,
they moved out.
Yeah, because
a
week before that, there was 4 shots outside, and I'm like, oh come on, bro. Like really?
Wait, slow down. You said there's 4 gunshots outside your house.
Yeah. Like this was before the break-in and everything, and like right after they moved out, and I'm like, okay, so they moved out. That can't be the basketball.
Oh, no.
So I go out to the hall, and I'm like, Bae, then I hear, while I'm looking down the stairs, I hear this like gut wrenching sound of the door breaking.
Dude.
So I immediately just like, okay, I'm getting breaking into. So I slowly
what do you do in that situation?
I slowly walked to my room and locked the door.
Oh, were you scared? You must have been scared.
Now, this is the same time I would be recording VisualWood. Okay, so
No!
yes,
No!
yes,
No!
5:30. We usually end at 6. We usually end at 6, maybe 6:30. I would have been recording VisualWood if we did not cancel that day. We never cancel. We canceled that day, right? And I would have been so focused on your voice that I would have not heard that. Especially I had the door closed all the time, most of the time.
Dude, do you believe that, like, this is one of those really weird things. It's like, what a weird coincidence. We've missed 2 shows ever that we planned to do.
Yeah.
Right? Then we put the show on hold. 2 shows ever. Then we plan to stop this one. All right? And that happens. That's insane.
It is ridiculous. It's weird. Somebody's looking out for me. But like I hear it and I was like, okay, this is a break-in. And I go in, I lock the door, and I am going to call the cops. So I take out my phone, and it's weird in that situation. You're like,
bro, I
need to call the cops.
I'm a terrible friend.
And
I
you're
never
like,
asked you about any of this.
I like flopped like through my contacts looking for 911. I'm like, what am I doing?
Why are you looking for your contacts?
Like, is that moment? And then I slap myself. I like slap myself, not for real, not for real, because they would have heard that because they were coming up the stairs. But mentally, I slapped myself and I went through clarity.
No noise at this point?
Huh?
You've made no noise. You've made no noise.
No, I slowly walked to my door because they are quick when they go to steal. Like, if you ever seen break-ins, they go through your stuff very quick. They're constantly throwing your stuff and they're going through everything.
Do you not at all think?
Yeah.
That you've got to be wondering this. You have to have been wondering this ever since this happened. Do you wonder what would have happened if you'd shouted and gone to the door?
I have wondered. I actually thought about it at the situation.
Right,
like,
listen,
damn
I'm a coward.
Are in my house. I wanna do something, but I know they might. I have to think smart. Like they might have a gun. They might have a gun.
Yeah, but
if they have a gun, then I won't be able to at least get some punches in. You know what I'm saying? Because like, man,
do you think it's even going to end up as a fight though?
Yeah.
See, here's what I'm thinking.
Because if it's only one guy there, then they can just like, all right.
But don't you think most of them are too scared to actually have a fight? They're expecting you to be out. Do you not see? My hunch. All right. Now let me just be clear before I say anything else. If I was in your position, I'd do the exact same thing. I am a coward. I would run. I wouldn't have just locked myself in my room. I would have hid under the bed, dude. I would be like, oh, please come away. I would know. However, I do reckon that most break-ins, most people doing it are also cowards. And if you got in their face and went, get out of my house, you know I'm in here, blah, 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 get angry.
Not around here. Not around here.
Really?
Not around here. I do not trust the guys around here. I don't think they would have run away. I think it would have been a fight. And I will defend myself. I tell you that.
You really think it would have been a fight if you'd gone for him?
Yeah, absolutely. And
bro, this is intense.
So I know. I know. You know, I already thought through it already very quickly on the way to the door. Like, I know I said I should hide and call the cops to get them here as fast as possible. Because I don't want them taking my stuff.
How confident are you in with the lock?
The lock on your door? I was not confident that the cops were gonna come very fast at all. All right.
Yeah,
but let me continue. I called them. I called them and I was like, very quietly. I was like, ma'am, there's people that have broken down in my house. I am currently still inside, upstairs in the corner room.
How did the woman
My
respond?
address is I didn't give her a chance to talk.
Really?
All right? I said all this stuff immediately, and she's like, "Wait a minute, wait, say the address again," and like she was just like trying to catch up with me, and I'm like, "Woman, I need you to pay attention. I need you to pay attention right now. Okay, sweet Jesus,
You
please
didn't say
get
that
my
to her,
address
right?
right, please. She was like, "What's the wait? What's the numbers again?" I was like, fake numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and I heard him coming up the stairs, and I was like, okay, I gotta go in this closet. So
Did you stay on the phone this whole time?
Yeah. She wants me to stay on the phone.
Did
So
you have like a relief person, like a stress person to talk to?
it's a 911 operator, and
This
she was
is
very
lovely.
sweet. She was very sweet. She was she kept me company. I opened the closet, I walked in, and I closed it, and I was like, okay. I said, Lord, please don't let them come to my door, because if they open up my door, it's going to be like heaven in here, okay? Look at the stuff I have in here. They're going to be like,
Yeah.
I don't want them to come back. I don't want to be like, oh, guess what? We're not going to rob this house over here. They're not going to rob this house over here. This house is a definite money grabber right here. Did you see that room, bruh? You know, like, I don't want them conversating about my room and how they want to freaking come up in here and just destroy it. Like, I just don't want that. So I don't even want them to come inside the room. And I'm thinking, I'm like, what am I going to do when they come inside the room? Do I grab something? Like, nah, maybe I don't want to fight these guys.
Tab on your person?
Yeah.
Like
I'm
what?
thinking.
What could you grab? My Nintendo 3DS.
No. Like something to defend myself with.
Oh.
Like, do I? I'm thinking, do I try to defend my room, or do I just not even look at them and lay on the floor? I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what? My wife would kill me if I call her, if I die here, if they have a gun. You know, like, is it that serious? Like, usually robbers, you know, that have a gun just in case. It depends on the type of person who is robbing your house. It's very sporadic. So I didn't want to deal with that crazy guy, you know? So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll lay down. But anyways, after like a few minutes pass by, the cops come, because all of a sudden I hear them run out. I hear them.
A few minutes? What do you mean a few minutes? Quicker than you were expecting?
Quicker than I expected.
Really?
Than I expected. Not like before this, I hear them like going through everything. They're just ripping through, my friend. They're just like, oh, your stuff. Like, I'm not gonna even do. I have a few pictures I could probably show.
What is this?
Like,
dude, there are so many tiny little minute elements of the story that I want to know about.
Yeah. I might do a story on it. I'm thinking,
dude, you
turn
have
it to something positive. Yeah. So let's not let this be the whole podcast. All right, I'll be quick. They came. Those guys ran out. I start hearing helicopters and
a helicopter?
Yes,
are you serious?
helicopters outside.
You got a helicopter sent to your house?
Listen. There's a lot of signs outside that say security cameras, beware, blah blah blah, beware a dog, all this stuff. Now, any fool, all right, they're gonna look at what just happened that day, and they're gonna see those police blocking off the corners, the block, and they're gonna be like, we probably shouldn't rob that house again. We probably shouldn't have robbed that house at all. You know, at all. Don't.
Wait,
let word
spread.
But if you touch my house, some helicopters gonna be coming after y'all niggas.
Wait. So they're in. Look, the perspective of the robber. I'm in Matt Visual's house.
Yeah.
I'm nicking a bunch of stuff. Right.
Right.
I've got my hands on stuff. I've got my hands on your TV.
Uh-huh.
I'm going through your fridge. I'm going through whatever. Right.
Yeah.
I hear a helicopter outside. A police helicopter. How many minutes into the robbery is this? They haven't even gone upstairs yet, right?
No, they're upstairs from the beginning. They're
Really?
grabbing the flat screen. They're grabbing the PS4.
Are they in your
They're grabbing
workroom?
the phones. They grabbed my $2 out my wallet. Like, they got the $2 out my wallet.
All right. How long before the police?
I think I would say when I called, probably like 5 minutes.
Did any of them try your door that was locked?
They went through the back door and the back gate. But they did not come close to the door. Like,
the door
I heard
the bedroom.
footsteps, but I never heard like them trying to turn the door.
Can you imagine how scary that would be if they were trying
Yeah,
to open your door?
I would have. I mean, obviously, I was a little scared here because
Yeah,
there's people
dude.
inside my house and I have no control over it.
Do you know what I've heard? I've heard that one of the scariest things in life is or one of the most unsettling things is when you get robbed, when you got broken into or whatever. Your house, you always like throughout your entire life, it feels like kind of like a sacred place, like a safe place. And no matter where it is or whatever, where your house is your house, and there's like a really sickening, horrible like invasion of privacy and just fear that invades the rest of your days after you get.
And
like,
that's the thing. And I guess I've always handled like trauma very well, I guess. And I wouldn't consider this trauma. I don't know.
Bro, this is trauma. You were hiding in a closet on the phone with 911. That's just trauma.
But I was joking with, like, it's funny you mentioned it, because I was joking with the cops and my wife is serious as hell. The cops are like, why are you joking about this?
Oh my God. Yeah, what is this?
I was like, I'm like, you guys came quick. And he's like, yeah. I was like right down the street, actually. And I was like, man, like, thanks, because they could have took a lot more if they got to my room. And the insurance would not have covered what's in my room. Okay, let's be honest. And I heard back from the insurance yesterday, and yeah, they're not covering anything. So it's fine. It's fine. At least they're covering the door. Okay, so door. All right. So I walk out. The cops come. I walk out. The woman just like hangs up on me. She's like, "Oh, they're there. Okay, bye." And I'm like, we didn't share a moment. We were talking and nothing. Like, what's going on? Like, anyways.
Yeah, what is that?
It was like, I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
it's just a job to her. You know, I feel like used a little bit. Anyways,
that's depressing.
I saw the cops. That hurt me more than people coming in. She gonna say, I'm just playing. The cops come and I'm like, okay, cool. They're here. I feel a little bit better now.
Wait. How do you know the cops are hitting? How do you know?
Well, they're like banging on the door. Says, police. Like, I wanted them to do that before I got out, because I didn't, I watched too many movies where, the guy's hiding in the bathroom, and then you come out and they're like, oh, what's up, bruh? And, come up from behind.
Yeah.
Because best believe, boy, I'm a stuff my like phone in their mouth or something. I don't know, something's about to go down. No one was in there. They both left. They caught one of them. There
were two guys, were they, in your house?
Two guys, from what they say. But I feel like there might have been a third one over the fence to grab the stuff as they put it over.
Dude, you're too smart with this.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because, I'm thinking, okay, I can get storm doors, right? Because that's what I'm going to replace my back door with. And I want to replace the front door with it. And obviously, I want to get a security system and build a fence. And I'm like, okay, I have two storm doors, but they could easily just come through the window. They can break the window and open up the latch. Like, it's just like, why get two storm doors if they could just come through the damn window? Like, okay, sure, they could come and like they could. Maybe they won't get the stuff out, but no, they could get through the window, open the door, and then they can steal my stuff. So it's like, I have to get a security system. That has to be the first thing. Anyways, the police came. A bunch of people came to take fingerprints off a bunch of the stuff that they touched.
Wait, can we rewind just for a second? Yeah. You're in the closet on the phone with a lady.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You hear the police come in the house.
Yeah.
What happens next? You're scared. What, do they tell you to come out of the closet? What? You just have to have the balls to leave your closet and walk downstairs? What's the story here?
Okay. All right. I'll dive a little deeper in this one.
Yeah.
I hear the cops. Because I start hearing the helicopter. I start hearing the car. The lady on the phone.
I can't believe there was a helicopter.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe either.
They got, what is this, a 4-star GTA rating?
I know, right? Exactly. Oh, you break into Matt Visual's house. Oh, that's it. That's it. Like, I already knew we were possibly gonna get robbed. I've made the
Dude,
it came up in conversation between my wife. I said, we're the only light-skinned couple who dress nice on this block or in this like whole like area. Like, we walk, like, we didn't have a car, so we would walk to the bus stop. They see us come out in and out. Like,
do you think
why wouldn't they rob the only nice-looking white picket fence house? Like, why wouldn't they?
But I wanted to ask you though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we haven't talked about this in the pod.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you can say this though, right? Like your car, right?
Yeah. We got a car.
So for people that don't know, Matt, you got a car.
Yeah.
Is that parked in a garage or is that out front?
Oh, no,
maybe
no.
they
The wife
targeted you 'cause
had
they
it.
saw the
The
car.
wife had it. The wife had it. And they came through the back anyway, so they.
But I mean, on a previous day, would they have seen him maybe in the drive or something? And been
Yeah,
like, right, we're gonna talk about that later.
exactly. So what they thought is that the car left. That means nobody was home. But I don't come outside, guys. I don't come outside. I go outside maybe to throw away the garbage. Okay, that's it. Like all they see is my wife coming in and out, and maybe me on Sundays. Like that's pretty much it. Like so, they don't know that a brother is inside my room, okay, in the closet calling the cops. So they think they walked into my house. They're like, oh my gosh, so much stuff is here. The cops were here immediately. They're thinking, oh, those signs outside, those sounds that they might have us on video. We need to get out of here now. You know, like I'm thinking like they're.
So you think there was a guy over a fence that was collecting stuff. They were running it to the guy at the fence. He was running off with it. You think 2 people were inside the house. One of them was caught.
They flipped my bed over with like, oh my gosh. I think.
No. What is that? They flipped your bed over.
Yeah. Like it's a big bed, and I just can't imagine a small guy flipping that bed like that.
Right.
Dude, like I bet they're huge. I would love to see pictures, but I'm not that curious.
You must be entitled to see pictures, right?
I think there was one guy out there though. But he probably like went inside someone's house.
What's the story of the guy who got caught? How did the cops find him?
They just chased after them, because when the cops came, they chased after them, and I was waiting in the closet the whole time. And then they came back. They told me to get out, and I told the woman there, I was like, I've seen these movies before. I'm a little scared to get out. I'm gonna be real with you right now. I said it just like that. It's just like, all right.
The same woman who just hung up on you.
Yeah. Before she hung up on me.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So just to explain the question there before. And she was like, wait a second. And then they like banged on the door, and I didn't hear it. I listened to see if I heard anybody move when they heard the bang.
And you didn't.
And I didn't hear anything.
So wait, what are you saying? That the cops got there quick, but were still too late anyway?
Yeah, well, they got one of the guy. Yeah, they only got one of the guy. I mean, dude, you're in a neighborhood where everyone looks the same. Everyone is looking sketchy.
Oh my God, the racism is unbelievable.
It's not racism. It's the truth. Okay, I know you people from like the UK and everything like that. You guys don't have gun. You guys don't even have guns in the UK. So like your crime is way lower than over here in America. Okay, like I wish I didn't have that, but guess what? I'm getting a gun. Because the next person to come up in my house, best to believe they're gonna get a cap in the knee.
Do you really believe that you're gonna get a gun and you're gonna?
I am. I already started looking at guns. We're about to go into a shooting range on Sunday.
This is the American story right here.
We're going to exactly. I know. Like I'm like, my wife was like, I never thought you'll be getting a gun. I was like, yeah, because I hate guns, but I do not want anyone coming up in here thinking they could take my stuff. Take my stuff. Best believe I'm gonna. Oh.
So you do. So next time you do want to get aggressive. You do want to go down.
As soon as I hear that, I'm going downstairs. I'm going downstairs and waiting for those guys to come up in my door. And
this is some serious stuff, right? This is some life-changing events right now.
Yeah. I know a lot of people would say that thing, but I am gonna be down there with my gun cocked. Yes, I am.
Really?
Best to believe it. I want the next time someone tries to break in at 5:30 while I'm streaming, all you're gonna see is me get up, cock the gun right in front of you guys, and go outside, and you're gonna hear blah blah blah. That's all you're gonna see. I'm not gonna kill them. I'm not saying I'm gonna kill them. I'm just gonna. I don't think I want them to get away, so I might shoot them because I have the rights to shoot them. So I might shoot them in the leg and say, "Turn away from a life of crime. Sorry, I broke your leg."
I thought, wasn't there a rule with guns in the US, like a rule of thumb, that you should never pull the trigger unless you're intending to kill? You never shoot someone.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to read up on laws before I get one, or when I
don't know whether that's law or whatever, but I heard that was like gun usage policy or something. Anyway, because there's always a risk that you're going to miss and accidentally kill or something. So you should never shoot unless you know you're lawfully in a position where you should shoot to kill. Or something like that.
Well,
This
I
is
don't
some
know
crazy
if
stuff.
I
This is the
depending
craziest
on the moment,
podcast we've
depending
ever
on
had.
how I feel.
This is the craziest podcast, Matt, we've ever had. And it's
Yeah.
been like an impromptu little podcast that's randomly come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's
Dude. I've got
All right.
something. Okay, next question. I've got to ask you. I know you don't want to linger for too long, but I'm going to make us because this is amazing. I've got to ask you a couple of questions. Number one,
All
do you feel secure in your own home?
not at the moment now.
Number two,
not at the moment, yeah.
do you feel worse than you did before about your neighborhood? Or did you always know it was like this?
No, I always knew it was like this because I mean I kind of expected it, to be honest. But I was already ready to like just kind of like take the back seat a little bit and not go down there and fight. My wife was like, "You better have not go down there and fight. You better not. I want you alive."
Why is she happy for you to buy a gun then? If
She doesn't want me to die.
Whoa.
She doesn't want me to die. She doesn't want, like, what if I was downstairs? You know?
So
I
she's
wouldn't have
happy for
had
you to go downstairs if you have a gun, but nothing
No,
else.
no. What if I was downstairs? Like, the elliptical is downstairs. So if I was exercising, and whatever, and they break in real quickly, what do I do? So it's one of those things. There's a lot of situations where things could happen, and she's not necessarily supportive of it. She just knows that she's not going to say anything of it. She's like, okay, yeah, get the gun.
Question 3. Who's taking it worse, you or your wife?
My wife. I'm not taking it.
Really? You were in the thick of it, though.
Yeah, everyone's just like, oh, man, I'm glad you're okay, man. Are you okay, man? Like, and the insurance people are like, you're okay? Like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't know. Like, I'm not. I don't know.
We did have a story on the pod a while ago about a friend of yours brought a gun to a party or something. I remember. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Hey, all right, let me tell you this one thing so we can move on to you.
No, I got one more question. I got another question.
Okay.
Do you think it was worth buying the house? That house in that place for that price after this event? Do you think
after
you're
this
thinking
event,
about the price, the money you're going to spend on security and all that stuff as well? Consider all that stuff, the happiness you feel from being in that neighborhood, all that stuff. The dog dying, gunshots outside.
After this, I really like, except it went a step further and said I really don't like being here in this place because but the thing is it was like the best house. It was the best house, to get. I didn't think it would escalate to a dog dying on my lawn or gunshots right outside of my door. I didn't think it would escalate. I know the neighborhood would have been bad because there are other people that are decent, but they're like on the next block. Because in Georgia, the hood is everywhere in Georgia. Okay, one block there's the white people. The white people. Because in Atlanta it's kind of like this in the city. You got the white people. Walking their dogs with sweaters on, and then you got the next block. The next block, you have like a burnt down house and a couple guys posting up,
Oh my God.
looking like they have no job. Okay,
Posting up.
Yeah, and in the city of Atlanta, there's just like every other block, there's like some ghetto-ness going on. All right. To end it off, we go downstairs. The cops come. They take fingerprints of everything. My wife comes over. She's like, I'm coming now. I'm coming home now. Like I called. I was like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have called you. Like I shouldn't have called you. She races home, and she's like, police are everywhere. They're like blocking off the roads and stuff like that. They're stopping people. I was like, dang. And I got somebody protecting me. So I drive. She drives up, and
do you feel good about? I'm going to throw in a question. Do you feel good about the police force?
Yeah, I feel a lot better now. Yeah. Because that means my security system is not going to be because the point of the security system is how fast it'll be faster for the cops to come, right? As soon as they break in, the security alarm sounds,
cameras.
Cameras,
later.
And the cameras will catch them later. But the thing is, that's how good the system is how fast the police react. Because the only difference between the security system and you calling your phone is the time. You know?
Yeah. It's not like the security system's going to bring robots and
Yeah, it's not. It's
deal
not.
with it on their own. Yeah.
You know, this is not Fallout 4. You know, you can't just build turrets outside your house. So,
Oh, making it gaming related.
oh,
Awesome.
Twitch don't put us down.
Yeah.
All right. My wife goes outside. Like the flat screen TV is like on the lawn and everything like that. Like my really good, like inexpensive,
What?
nice
so they
speakers.
were in the middle of running away with it. Heard the cops.
Yeah,
and
they
just
dropped it on the
them.
floor. Oh my god, they dropped it on the floor. It's like my old Vizio flat screen. You know, it's been with us for years. You know, it's just like they.
Is it broken?
It's a little messed up. It's a
really
little like it's hard to turn on now. Like and the insurance. Anyways, the.
Insurance.
She goes out. Insurance suck, guys. Try to get your deductible really low, guys. Try to get your deductible really low, because insurance, they're very stingy with the stuff they give you. She goes outside, and on the AC unit, she sees a bright orange gun, toy gun.
Right. So they were pretending to be armed. Is that if you had gone downstairs, they would have shown you a gun, and it would have just been a fake toy gun.
Yes.
Dude.
So I am looking for it now, and I'll show you on my.
You're gonna show me the gun that was on your counter, the toy gun. Was this like a potato gun? Was it an air gun, or was it just completely fake?
It's completely fake. It's bright orange. Bright orange. It looks a little yellow.
Bright orange. They would
bright
paint
orange
it black.
gun. This is what they're gonna come in and rob me with. Like what they're expecting is most people are very fearful when you walk in, right? When someone busts up in your house, you're all like, ah, right? Most people are like that.
Honestly, let's be real, right? One of the things you considered doing was one, to hide, but two, to just lay on the floor and just let them do whatever they want.
Do whatever they want.
Like, think about that. You are not alone in that. A lot of people would do that kind of thing.
But the thing is, most people are. The point I'm going is, most people are very like, oh, there's someone here, right? So what they're gonna react to they're gonna think it's a gun. So it doesn't matter what color it is. They even spray paint it black, you know? Like they didn't care. So obviously the robbers were
I got another question then.
Yeah.
Alternate reality Matt didn't hide in his room. He went downstairs. He was braver, way braver than I could ever be.
And then he died.
No, but and the fake gun scenario
well, yeah. If I knew they had a fake gun,
what happens there? Do you think? What happens to that match?
I think everything went well, though. I think I did the right choice, and not trying to be some type of super tough guy and going downstairs and trying to do stuff. I think I made the right choice I think the smarter choice. But next time, of course, I will have a gun,
so you're
and I will not
now,
be running. I would not be running.
You think you did the smart choice this time, but you don't think it's the smart choice 2 times in a row?
It depends. It depends on the situation. If I see a SWAT team thief guy coming in, like blowing my storm door down and coming in, best believe I'm hiding in a closet and I'm actually gonna be scared. They coming in 1, 2, 3, boom, and then they come in with their guns like, check, clear. Like if I'm hearing all that, I'm hiding in my closet. Okay? Yeah. But the reason I'm getting the gun is that not necessarily for me, but my wife is in that house. If something happens, if I'm not there, or she's there with me next time, or if there even is a next time, I want to be ready to protect her. That is like the worst fear. Like, forget, this is the reason why this is not traumatizing to me. What's traumatizing is me not being able to help people I love. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my friend is in there or whatever, like, they busting through the door like that? Nah, man. I have to be able to protect myself. I would be damned if I let someone else get hurt because I didn't have protection,
I got a weird question. Imagine I was at that place, right? Like, legit, I was at that place, me and you. The robbery happens. Would you have been ashamed to have hidden the closet?
No, I would tell your ass to get inside the closet too.
I would. Well done.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Why would I want you to? Why would I want you to get hurt? Like I don't even want you to get bruised up. You know what I'm saying?
2v2, baby. 2v2 IRL. Let's go.
If you were in for it, I might have been in for it.
What? I would never be in for it. I'm just gonna let you know. I would never be in for it.
Two guys inside the house.
I wouldn't just be hiding. In the
They have to give up because they know one of us has. I would have been like, all right. I would have been like they're breaking down the door, and then me and you be standing there. I'll be holding up the phone up to my ear. I'm like, the cops are coming as soon as they break down the door.
Do you know? Okay, in all, I would like to think I would do this. All right. I'm a coward, and I'm not going to hide from that. And I think cowardice probably is the smartest thing to do in a lot of situations, right? But I would like to think that I would shout very loudly and very aggressively and very angrily downstairs. Like you've never heard before. Like, as violent. Everyone listening in chat right now, Matt listening right now, you all know how aggressive you can sound, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
anyone has the capacity to be very scary. Very scary. Now, whether you're like that in your regular life is kind of irrelevant, but everyone has that capacity in them to be genuinely damn intimidating and scary. And I would like to think I would be smart enough at least to try that. Like down the banister, I wouldn't go downstairs, but I'd make some scary noises, like telling people to, F off or whatever, and then I'd go hide. But maybe the scary noises would be enough, Oh, but then you've given your position away. I don't know, dude. This is crazy.
Yeah, so this is a picture of the door. The whole frame was kicked out.
Dude, look at that damage. Look at that damage.
Yeah.
Wait, so insurance paid for this? Is this fixed now?
No. We have to get an estimate and send it to them. We don't really get the check separately.
Dude, so what's going on with your door right now?
It's boarded up. They paid for someone to come out and board it up.
On what, you're using the back door as a front door?
No. The back door is where they kicked in. They came from the back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Okay.
The front is fine. So yeah. So that is my experience. Yeah.
Do you want me to talk about my experience this week as well?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure people want to know why we missed last Thursday and why it was. So
All right. Yeah. I suppose I can do that. We don't have too many people here. I actually did on Patreon. I did a like special little video for people, just to let them in the loop for like the top supporters. Dude, I'm not gonna top your story. My story's kind of like, my story's just sad.
It's about this talking.
My story's just sad though. Yours is like crazy.
Dude, it's
We're here to entertain people.
That story wasn't. Oh, okay, whatever.
It was entertaining.
All
right. I'm sorry, but your traumas, your life.
We always talk about real stuff. We might as well talk about real stuff.
All right.
I can't believe we haven't talked about Guild Wars 2 yet. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I know. This is release week for Hard Thorns. That's crazy. Well, so stuff's been going. HOT came out at a pretty bad time for me as well. Last week, Matt getting robbed. He hadn't been robbed yet. He got robbed during when the pod would be, but we'd cancelled the pod already. That wasn't because of Matt's craziness in real life. That was because of some of mine. Man, all right. So after I quit my job 3 years ago, I came home and lived back at home because I didn't have any money going on basically, and I was hoping that YouTube would end up being a thing. But at the same time, basically the exact same time, my grandmother had been getting very ill, like terminally ill, and she came to live with us as well. And like over the past 6 months or so, she'd been getting worse and worse and worse. And what do you know? She passed away last. What day is it today? It's Thursday. So it wasn't last Thursday. She passed away on like Tuesday of last week. It's basically just been hellish. She passed away just a couple of days before HOT came out. I didn't want anything on the main channel to have, any impact. I knew I had to work, like 3 years ago, I stopped doing videos around GW2's launch for a while where I was just playing the game. And I think that was a big mistake. I needed to keep doing stuff consistently. So like I knew I had to work, but I didn't want to tell. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever seen someone like a YouTuber who's had someone pass away, Matt?
Yeah.
You've watched. Like recently there was a big thing with Markiplier, right? And Markiplier had a good friend of his. You saw this, right?
Yeah.
A good friend of his who died. And like he stopped uploading for like 2 weeks. And then eventually he'd never missed a video for a single day. Even when he went to hospital, he had not missed a single video for a day. I attribute a lot of his success to that. I think it's a great inspiration. But he didn't upload anything for 2 weeks. And then finally did a vlog where he was basically crying on camera. like explaining, a
He
really
loves
close
to cry on camera.
Oh,
He
God.
does it all the time. Yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty sad. Anyway, whenever I've seen YouTubers do it, I
Time for
I
face
don't
cam, basically.
I don't know. I don't enjoy their videos so much. Like, look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't share stuff about your personal life if you're a YouTuber, right? I'm not saying that at all. That's like outrageous. You are absolutely entitled to do whatever you want. However, I find as someone who watches other YouTubers, when they're like, "Oh, listen, my mum was just diagnosed with like this terminal illness or whatever," and then like less than 24 hours later, you're watching them play, oh my God, what's that sport game where you use QWERTY to move people around, and they're like floppy characters.
QWOP.
QWOP, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then less than 24 hours later, you're watching people play QWOP, right? And go, penises, woo! Like
Yeah.
laughing about stupid stuff. I cannot take it seriously. I'm like, you look like the most fake, outrageous person I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so I was just like, look, this is really bumming me out. I had a really big, basically 2 days after she passed, we had like a big family day where loads of stuff was going on. During that day, I was saying to you, Matt, I was like, don't worry. On Tuesday, I said to Matt, don't worry, I'll do the podcast. It'll be all right. Wednesday came, Thursday came. I was busy as all hell. Matt did me a complete solid, a massive solid. I was like, look, we'll do it. It's okay. Like, I basically had no time. I still had to edit one of my videos. I was like, ran off my feet. I was trying to work as much as possible. But I was like, no, look, you need to take a day.
I had to force it. I was like giving him the chance. I was like, just say you want the day out. Like, he didn't want to. I was like, all right, you know what? That's it. I just tweeted it out. I just tweeted it out.
And that was it. Yeah, so Matt was a really, really good friend that day. And after that happened, I was like, oh, man, I could have done the pod. I don't want to let stuff drop. Like, letting stuff drop has been stressing me out a lot recently. There's a lot of stuff I want to do. Letting things drop really stresses me out. But after that happened, I thought I'd get stressed out that I'd missed the pod or whatever. But no more than like half an hour after the pod was over, I finished editing the thing I was working on. It was done. I clicked render, and I just felt like the most incredible relief. I was like, oh, I'm actually done for the day. Oh, my God, this feels amazing. I sent Matt a message. I was like, this is great. Thank you so much. Probably right at the exact time that Matt's getting robbed. And then I was a terrible friend, basically. You were like, oh, yeah, I think I just got robbed. We didn't say anything to each other for ages. But today...
No, you just didn't answer back. You didn't
really?
answer back.
No. Let me look. Let me look. Who sent the last message?
You can look.
Oh no, was it me? I bet it wasn't.
And you know, my friend, I was like, I'm not saying a thing to him. I'm gonna see how long it takes him to answer back.
Really? No, don't do that. Oh God, where is it? I'm scrolling up. Whatever.
I was playing because there was like only 2 days I had to like play Heart of Thorns, like no life for 2 days, and I like beat the story in these 2 days and got to like level 19 masteries or whatever. And Fred was like, a friend of mine, Fred was like, the RuneScape developer. He was like, oh yeah, like you talked to WP, and I was like, nope.
Oh, don't.
No. Nope. I was like, you know what? Nope. I'm gonna see how long it takes him. Well, yeah. It's fine.
I did eventually remember the Matt existed.
The
like,
day of, right? Wednesday? Was it Wednesday? Yeah.
Yesterday,
yeah.
yes. Yesterday.
It's funny.
It's not funny.
YouTube is more important. It's fine. But how you feeling, man? You good? You good now? You refreshed?
The story's not entirely over though.
Oh, okay.
Because then today, literally today, Matt said to you all in chat that I've been drinking, right? Today was the funeral. Not only was it the funeral, but we had maybe 50 to 60. Actually, I think it was like 60 to 70 people.
Dang.
In my family came to this funeral. We all today. They drove the coffin and the hearse, came to my house because this was where she was living before she passed. Parked out the front. We had tons of people at this house. We all followed in cars. We all drove off. This was like less than 9 hours ago right now. We all went there. I was one of the 6 people that carried the coffin into the room.
Oh, snap.
And
were you dressed up?
Yeah, I'm still dressed up. I'm in a suit and tie right now. Right now, I'm in a suit and tie.
What? Turn on the face cam. was it an open or closed coffin?
No, okay, all right. So the Thursday, the thing I was doing 2 days after she passed, that was we went to see her at the what's it called? The
More?
Hall of Rest, I think it is.
Oh.
Basically, yeah, the morgue, right? So we went to the hospital and we saw her body, and we just very close friends and family. We went there and we went to see her, and that's where I'd been all day. Just before I got in, I got in about an hour before the pod or whatever it was, and that's when I was getting ready, and I recorded a video, and then I was getting ready to roll straight into the pod, and that's when that's when Matt cancelled the pod. That's what was going on that day. Today it was all closed casket and stuff. It was just a funeral.
See, like robbers coming to rob me, stuff like that, rough childhood, stuff like that, I'm fine with, right? I can live through that. But open casket funerals makes me just sad. Like the air is thick.
Dude, it was weird.
My gosh, like my.
Have you ever been to one?
Yeah, two. My uncle on my like stepdad's family was open casket. Didn't even care for the guy, but I had to go outside because of like tears were welling up. I was a kid at the time, but I don't know. Like it's like I don't know. Like funerals just don't get me. I just don't get it. My wife's mother passed away, and that was very sad. And that was open casket. And man, if you ever been to a Hispanic funeral, man, they got emotions, my friend. They got emotions, okay?
Yeah, when some people start crying, that sets everyone else off. It's crazy. When you did an open casket thing, this is gonna sound like a weird thing to talk about. It's pretty interesting though, right?
Yeah.
Did you touch the body?
No, absolutely not.
No, see, we were all quite touchy-feely, like hugging and, kissing or whatever. It's weird, dude. It's weird. It's like she felt like a model, like a porcelain model that you'd have, like with skin or whatever. So it didn't feel like hard, but like in terms of cold, when you touch someone, right? When let's say you're out in the freezing cold, right? Think back to first girlfriends or whatever that anyone's had in chat or anything like that. Think back to you're with someone very cold and you touch their cold skin. You touch, but you feel that they're cold, but like you still feel like. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's something that you won't notice that it's there. You will never have noticed that it's there. But there's still a warmth there. Deep inside, there's a warmth. Physically, under their skin, there's still a warmth you feel. But it's very different touching someone who's actually like passed away. Like they're cold right through and you can feel it instantly. And you don't realize the difference, but it's the difference between touching a body and touching like this desk here or something. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced. It's absolutely crazy. Anyway, yeah, emotions have been very high. Stuff's been pretty crazy. Today wasn't just a funeral either. I didn't just carry the coffin, but I did the service as well, which was the first public speaking I've done in a long time. So I delivered a 20-minute speech, which I've been practicing over the week, which, yes, has also impacted.
That's like a video.
Yeah. It's weird, dude. Like, I'm sat here talking to 300 people with you right now, right? Easy as anything. You stand up on a stage and talk to like 50+ people. It's like nerve-wracking and emotions were high. I wasn't sure if I was going to burst into tears at any time. And I had all this stuff to read. I had a poem to read. I recited like the Lord's Prayer. I did like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty mental. Anyway, it's been a busy week. We had a wake, and I've been out drinking basically since then.
Does that I never understood drinking. Does that really dull the pain, or it just makes you happy from laughing?
I think of it more like I've definitely noticed since I've been doing this job, right? Like staying at home so much. I've definitely noticed I am less in regular social scenarios. I'm less social. You know this about me. I'm not a particularly social guy. I've noticed it. I've noticed it myself big time recently. I'm less social. But you get a couple of drinks in me, smooth sailing, baby. Talk to anyone I like. That's what I view it as. It's just a social lubricant. It's just like you just relax.
Social lubricant.
Boom. That's the word. Social lubricant.
That.
Someone asked me what I'm drinking. Aspel's cider is mostly what I've had. I had a couple of pints of Foster's.
Okay.
And I had some a double shot of Bailey's. That's what I've had today. Over a long period of time, like 7 hours. But yeah.
The last time I got even near drunk, tipsy, was way back. Way back, my friend broke up with his girlfriend, and he wanted to just play Gears of War all online together. We had a couple Xboxes hooked up, and he just wanted to just get drunk, and he was out of it.
Yeah?
He was out of it, man. This is a guy I used to play tournaments with. He was
Okay.
out of it. And I had this not purple drink, this pineapple drink had little pineapples inside it, and it tasted so good. And the guy was like, "Be careful."
You talked about this to me before.
Be careful,
to be honest.
because that's that good drink. That's the one that they give the woman. You know, like it tastes really, really good, but it's a lot of alcohol in there. And I was like, it tastes so good. I love juice. I love juice.
You've
love
definitely talked to me about this before.
Yeah.
Guys, this
All
should
right.
be a testament to how good whatever this drink is. Because Matt, on 2 separate occasions, over like 2 years, has recalled it as being one of the best drinks he's ever had.
But I got tipsy that time, and I was like, I would try to walk the line, and I couldn't walk straight, and I'm like,
Ooh.
what? And I like forced myself, and I'm driving home, and I'm like, it's down the street. Don't worry, guys.
Oh,
Down the street,
no,
and I'm like,
worried.
I keep swerving to the left, and I'm like, no, brain, no. And that moment when I was like, okay, I can't really control my actions at all, no matter how hard I try, I'm never drinking again. Why would I want that? Why would I want that?
Well, there's more to it than the loss of control, and the loss of control tends to only happen like after quite a few.
So what
I
if you're
think
drunk and
it's-
someone breaks inside your house?
I'll tell you what, if you were drunk, well, for me at least, I guess it affects different people differently. But there's a
Fall
reason
down
some
the
people
stairs
call
and
it
say,
liquid,
"Hey, get out my house."
liquid courage. I'm not an aggressive guy. I'm a scared guy. I'm a cowardly guy, right? But when I've had a couple of drinks in me, I'm not aggressive. I don't get angry. I'm a million years away from that. However, I don't get scared either. So like, you know when you're wandering around rough areas of town
Mhm.
and there's people that are like staring at you, looking for fights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I just feel no fear anymore, so I just look back at them, and like that's got me into a few scruffs before. But it's not because of aggression of my own or anything like that. It's just because it's called liquid courage for a reason, because it
Yeah.
can just take fear away completely. And I definitely know that feeling. So yeah, someone breaks into your house and you've had a few, then you're probably
Well,
gonna go down there and
Next
escalate
time,
something.
I'll make sure I have a bottle of some nice, I don't know, some pineapple drink right
Yeah,
next to the
get
gun.
some pineapple
So
drink,
as soon as
yeah.
I hear something break, take a shot. Liquid lubricant. And then go down there, load up one in the chamber, and go shoot somebody.
My God.
I definitely will not kill them. I'm just gonna make
You wanna
sure they
look
don't
into
get
that.
away.
That
I'm gonna be
whole shooting
stepping
thing
on
is
their
the thing.
face as the police come. I'm be like, "Hi, 911. Yeah, someone tried to break in. I'm currently stepping on their face. Can you please come and get them?" Yeah. It's just gonna be like, "Oh, what's your address?" I'm
What?
like, yeah. Yeah. All right.
So what? Yeah. I'm more shocked by your story than mine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Do we want to open up to questions? How?
Yeah,
we got an hour.
Oh, jeez, we already got to an hour.
We did 2 stories. in an hour.
It's WP's fault. Like he shouldn't.
I
He
do have
shouldn't have
one
been
final
out there in a funeral. Like 'cause he should be here recording VisualWood, right? Like
This is like the real life podcast. Do you know what I mean? This is like real life talk right now.
yeah.
This is a very non-standard podcast for a lot of reasons. I do have a question, Heart of Thorns related, sort of.
Okay.
All week I've had people telling me, Matt rage quit. How do you feel about the fact that Matt rage quit?
What?
Yeah.
Are you
Lots of
serious?
different people. Yeah. I've had maybe 5, 6, 7 messages from people saying, "Oh, so I read on Twitter that Matt's rage quit the story."
Oh.
Rage quit.
I rage. All right. So I didn't feel like if people were gonna take it that way, I could care less if they took it that way. Basically, what happened was I was playing for 14 hours straight that day. I got to the
Oh
story.
my God.
I got
Yeah.
to the story, and I was like, I'm gonna beat this tonight. Before they put in that stupid patch for all the whiners about nerfing the mastery
adjustments.
lockout, the gate,
Yeah.
for the mastery. So, for people who don't know, if you didn't get the poison lore in Itzel, you wouldn't be able to finish the story. Oh, but now they fixed that. Well, fixed it. They nerfed it. But I wanted to
They
do it
just
before
removed the
then
requirement.
because I just grinded all day. Okay, like forget y'all. Like what the hell? Like forget y'all. Oh, and I explored that whole map fully. My gosh, there's so many good stuff in that first map. I don't know about the other maps though. Hopefully when I digest
Dude, I've
it.
spent a lot of time in the second map.
Yeah?
And the third. I've spent barely any time in the first or fourth, but the second and third, I've spent so much time. I almost have all associated achievements with the second map at this point.
All right, you
And
gotta
there's a
tell me more about
lot
that.
to see there. There's
Nice.
everyone in chat, and for Matt, there's an achievement called the Golden Chicken. I would go for that. That's a really good
Ooh.
achievement.
Dude,
Takes you to this crazy hidden
map
place.
design, ain't it? If you guys are actually listening today.
My man.
Oh, so good. So good. I've never experienced leveling up. Like I have, like I guess grinding. When I say grinding, because grinding, I don't consider grinding a bad term. It's just, you know, you're doing something repeatedly. You're trying to level up the masteries. It was so fun. In that one map, I spent like the whole day doing every single thing in that whole map, and there's so much to see. And in the second map, there's so much like lore stuff in these attached to these events. There's this Balthazar event where we are going to where like just a handful of people were trying to defeat. Like we're like everyone kept dying, so of course all the newbies left. They're like, oh, it's too hard, and they left. But everyone just kept dying and coming back. Okay, what are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? Oh, there's a mushroom off to the side. So we jump on the mushroom, and we learn how to dodge the attacks and avoid his like big mega storm attack that comes and defeats it. Like, oh, so those experiences make me really, really just bring back those memories of launch Guild Wars 2. And that's what I was hoping that the expansion did, and it did bring it back. Anyways, the reason why I say I rage quit was because I was tired. I had Zerker gear with my Reaper going in there. I didn't have all my masteries unlocked. Not masteries, all my my traits unlocked, right? I had it more than halfway. Yeah, a little bit more than halfway. And I went in there and I kept dying for stupid reasons. Like there's this point where you're is this spoilers? You're fighting the final boss and you have to glide up. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you're jumping on it and it won't float you up. And I will immediately die. I don't know if they fixed it the day after.
They have. There were one of the most recent patches had about 1 million messages about the final mission, the patches for it.
Like
Loads
not necessarily just nerf, just like it was just fixes,
make
right?
functional.
Like, yeah, make functional, because it was just like I died immediately, and the air thing wouldn't work. So what? How is that my fault? Like, and I kept dying, and what you would have to do is restart the whole fight over. I mean, guys, like 10, 15 minutes of your life being restarted over and over again because of
it's longer than that. The final mission is longer than that.
I'm talking about for that fight, because you get a checkpoint for just that fight.
Oh yeah.
But those other bosses are ridiculous too. Holy moly! Like the first time I was fighting that before, like they fixed it. Like I beat it the first try when I got up in the morning, and I thought it was because I was well rested. But because I didn't have a problem after that. But I guess they did fix a lot of stuff. Because,
wait, is this where the rage quit comes?
Oh, I rage quit that after the 14 hours going in. I kept dying on the Bram boss and the Kaith boss. But I eventually learned to fight and defeat it. And I kind of felt like a little bit of like the Platinum games where you're playing on hard mode and you feel very good after beating something. Plus with the action combat, I was fine. Like I didn't care about me dying too much until like I was dying for stupid reasons. In the last boss fight. Because like the action combat just felt so good that I just didn't care. You know, it's kind of like Platinum games, you know. And I know a lot of pro player. I haven't seen a lot of pro players using the action cam. I'm pretty sure some people are gonna say like, "Oh, it's not for the hardcore," but I like it, you know. And
it gives you more. It gives you more in combat. It does allow you more. You can move better in all directions. With more camera controls, so you will see the pro players eventually learn to use it. You will see it.
It's so good. It's so good, especially for Necro. You don't have to. It's just good. Anyways, there was super stuff that would blow up in there, but like there was in that last Morgan fight, I spent like 2 hours, and that was just on that fight, and I'm like, no, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I've been playing this game all day for over 14 hours. It's time to go to bed. And I put on Twitter, I said, I rage quit. And before I break my keyboard, I was literally gonna I picked up my keyboard and I was like,
that caused waves, man. That caused some serious waves. I was getting messages about that. Yeah.
But they fixed all the stupid all right. Anyone, I know a lot of people did not reach where I reached before that day, because this was like the third day that they patched it, after the second day. So if you reach the final boss after the second day, then you know what I'm talking about. There's some stupid stuff, okay, that would happen. That just like he would throw a rock at you and it wouldn't hit you, but it hit you and you fell down. I'm like, no, Guilders 2, you need to stop tripping. You need to stop tripping.
Yeah. I actually had that happen to me at least once. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I did have that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I didn't like dying for those types of reasons. But yeah, I put on Valkyrie's gear and everything else. I beat it in one try. I didn't die once, and I was just like, I got close. It was still challenging. It wasn't nerfed, but well, like, what do you think? I know you weren't 100% happy with the story, but like, did you feel like it was challenging when you got there? Because I don't know. I might be biased because I played it before it got balanced.
So I duoed nearly all of the story. Sometimes I was playing Glass, sometimes I wasn't. For the final mission, at the very least, I was duoing it, and I was on a pure, basically support build. It was face roll easy. It was like I didn't really do anything. I just pumped out lots of support. But you duoed it, not soloed it. Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to scale for duo, but yeah, I never found any challenge in any of it at all because I was duoing. To be fair,
if you duo, man, like, come on, like, there's some crazy comps you can do.
Yeah. So like that was my main irritants with the whole story though is I've completed it, but I have a 50-50 chance after every cutscene I see in game for the game to kick me out, just arbitrarily kick me to character select after every cutscene. And a lot of missions have cutscenes in the middle of the missions. So there's one specific one that's really long. It takes place underground. It's in the third arc. It takes place underground. There's an Asura gate in it. That's all I'll say, so it's not spoilery for people. But that mission is long. And that mission I have done so many times. And I cannot tell you, and the final mission as well, I've done so many times. I cannot tell you how frustrating it is to have completed something, to completely have finished it, to have beat all the challenge, and then to have to go back to the start and do it again. And then go back to the start and do it again. And go back to the start and do it again. Like, and not only do it again, right, which itself is boring and frustrating, but not just do it again, but do it again still knowing there's no guarantee you'll get through this time because of the coin tosses. Right? That is horrible. I've been so frustrated. I've been hating it. I've not talked about it on videos, really. I've not talked about it anywhere because it's just an issue with my account. This issue was happening with my account before Heart of Thorns. This is a Guild Wars 2 thing. I think it's got something to do with the fact I'm playing EU over on NA, the fact that I'm doing the story missions with 2 people, the fact that I've got some weird thing going on with my DNS related to a previous disconnector I used to get. It's something specific to me. It's something so specific to me when I Google it, I see basically nobody else having the issue at all. So I can't account for this like when I'm reviewing or talking about the actual quality of the game. But for me personally, Matt, I will tell you I've been hating my experience. It has been the worst thing in the world, and it's been very, very hard to remain objective.
The story or the expansion itself?
The story. The expansion itself, I don't get the issues because there's not random cutscenes happening all the time. Yeah. Out in there have been DCs randomly in the open world, but they're easy to jump in. If you're in the middle of a meta event, you randomly DC, you log back in, you're still at that place in the meta event. It's not a problem. If you DC at the end of a story instance, you go all the way back to that story instance. Yeah. There's no forgiveness there. That's it. You got to do it again. And it happens over and over and over and over. I hate it.
Don't even want to know. I felt pain having to quit, knowing that I had to redo those boss fights again.
Yeah.
With those characters, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. And I said, no, I'm going to sleep. Exit game. And I got so pissed off that I wrote that on Twitter, and that's why you saw that. That's why people saw that. Yeah, that's why you saw it. I was like, like I wanted to. Why can't I finish it? Like I'm not a pro player, but I am a decent player. What the heck? I shouldn't be dying for such stupid reasons when I do everything correctly. Yeah. Stupid rock and stupid airflow's not working because Guild Wars 2 is built a certain way, and they probably didn't think about that while creating it in the first place or whatever.
Yeah.
But
so somebody did ask me. I just do want to say, Ouija said, "Wooden Potatoes. Other than those frustrations, how do you feel about the story?" I still like, and honestly, when I talk about the story, whenever you hear me talk about the story, the statement in a second has nothing to do with those frustrations. 100% has nothing to do with those frustrations. I don't think the story is very good. I actually don't like it very much.
Oh, really?
I'm actually incredibly unexcited about Living World Season 3, Season 4, future expansions for Guild Wars 2. I think they seriously dropped the ball, and I'm really not very happy with it. I think it did some stuff amazing. Don't get me wrong, right? Like this expansion has some A++ stuff in it. Like
some
really
dark
good,
yeah.
some really good implementation stuff. However, and I can't talk about it yet because of spoilers, but there is a lot of high level, right? This is what gets to me. This is what makes me lose faith. The problems I have with the story are high level narrative decisions. It's stuff that people sat down in a room and they said, all right, this character, what do we want to happen to this character? We'll decide. And then it's just ended up like just so bad in my opinion. And the expansion is very narrow in scope. That's fair to say. So it couldn't deal with very much, but it dealt with so little. Like, I've spent the last 3 years, guys, speculating about Guild Wars 2 lore, Living World stuff, what it's all been rolling up to, what the expansion is going to be like. There are so many different elements to this franchise and different characters and plot threads that you've seen me do speculative videos on, things that genuinely excite me, theories that I haven't come up with, that other people have come up with, that I've shown to you guys. And the thin slice of stuff that was discussed in this expansion is not enough to make me remotely happy about the idea of another expansion or anything really. So I don't know. I'm gonna do a big review on it at some point, but I'm not very happy. It's got nothing to do with the disconnects, I promise you.
For me, I actually enjoyed it because it was better than the Living Story. Because my hype level is very like really low already, so it passed that level of like, oh, it's pretty good. Because there's some, like, it wasn't perfect, obviously. In a sort of way, when I say it's not perfect, when I say it hit that level, it went over that level is what I thought was it couldn't have been that bad, like the way I was thinking, because Living Story for me wasn't really that good. We watch so much shows, right? Me and you watch so much shows. We kind of understand how a story is supposed to land. Yeah, I tell stories. Like, it's just certain things I just like, all right? And I put that in my videos. You know, not everyone's going to like my type of style, and that's why many people might like the Living Story, the expansion story. But the cutscenes weren't done very well, and they were telling story, like, other than it being, like, low-res and not looking pretty.
The low-res, dude. Like some of the final cutscenes, you can tell that there are just some basic things. This actually I don't factor very much into my low credit of the story. But dude, did you notice like the cutscenes, right? There's a black screen in a cutscene where they transition from one screen to another. This happens all the time. Pick any cutscene in Hearthstone. It's a proper cutscene where it's like pre-rendered and whatever, right? They have like banding on there. They can't even show you a black screen. They can't even do that. There's like all this ugly banding and visual artifacting going on all over the place. It looks like a 480p video that they've stretched up to my 720 screen.
You remember when I told you that when they were doing the thing, when they were doing the other cutscenes? Yeah, and I was just like, what is this? Like, why does it, like, you think when you're in game cutscenes would be done a certain way, and I'm like, this is ruining it for me. Like, there's a high scene and they used a cutscene for it, and it looked horrible because not only did it look horrible, but the animation wasn't really well done. Yeah, it wasn't really well done. The characters just felt janky, and I've seen better on YouTube. Like,
Kerry
YouTube
said,
animation.
they look like Sims characters.
Yeah.
Look like Sims characters.
Like, I was just like, oh no, but I kind of like a little bit of this, and then the whole the trail stuff and the personal story where they like leave a trail and stuff was kind of just like, come on, guys.
Well, okay. Well, I'll say, despite what we just said,
the timey thing was. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think the cutscenes were, despite the issues with them, I think the cutscenes are billion, million, trillion times better than anything we've seen in Guild Wars 2 before. Mm-hmm. And I would be an advocate of seeing more of them. I'd just like them to see a little bit done a little bit differently, a little bit higher quality. That's all. I actually think that the cutscenes are pretty good. And I liked the open world track and stuff.
I liked that he did it. I didn't like the way it was done. Like, if you see the monster that you fight, like, that's in the cutscene, and then as soon as you come out of the cutscene, the monster has all this detail, and you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, but that's like quality. That's like implementation, right? Like,
but the actual like textures on the monster were low res.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
when you see the characters, they were low res. You know, like I guess you can, like you would think like, oh, it's because we're zoomed out, but no, the monster was huge, so you can actually see that there was higher res textures on the monster. So
There were some issues like that. Like the very first cutscene. This isn't a spoiler. We've all seen this. Everyone in chat would have seen this. The beta cutscene where you're in the very first mission. The mission is to defend the outpost from the Mordrum as they attack during the night. And then the very first cutscene of Heart of Thorns shows Ritlock coming back from the mist and dethroning a cavalier. And in that cutscene, the lighting is completely different, and it's Verdant Brink during the day. And the entire the whole story is do this at night. Like they're still messing up. Like I don't want to point names at specific devs. They've talked to us a bit about what devs do what though, so I think you can if you really think about point names. But I'm not gonna do that. But like voice acting, right? Like there's a lot of moments. Well, there's not a lot of moments. There are less than in the personal story at least. But like your character will be like, okay, imagine right now I am your player character, guys, and Matt is an NPC I'm gonna talk to. I'm the player character. Oh wow, look, this is a glass of water. Oh my god, it's a glass of water and it's got crazy stuff. I wonder whether we can take it anywhere. Right? Like they splice lines in together like that. One moment you're shouting, and then the next moment you're not. And they're clearly different lines recorded in different audio sessions and then spliced together badly. And you know, like.
And that happened at the end, at the last mission, guys.
Yes.
At the last mission.
It happened twice.
And
okay?
it's just
I'll be honest, I saw it twice, which isn't that much, but one of them was really bad right at the end that Matt's talking about.
Again, I did enjoy it. I think it has something to do with action combat. I think it has something to do with me playing a Savari and the actual even just the slight change of dialogue and extra dialogue that you have for being a Savari just makes it feel like they're trying a lot better than they're doing a lot more now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, you know what? Damn, good job, damn it. Like I actually just don't want to play any other character but Savari because the experience I had, like those were the high moments for me. Not necessarily what was going on in the story, but those moments right there where the dialogue is just like, yeah, Savari dialogue? What's going on here? Does anyone notice that only Savari is blah 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 blah? I was like, oh, what's this?
Yeah, there's quite a lot actually. There's a lot of moments where when I played it as an Asura, my Asura mentioned like Asura-specific stuff, like talked about the Eternal Alchemy or just subtle little stuff. It was actually pretty good.
That's what I wanted more of. I want more of that. I don't play Guild Wars 2 like exclusively, so I'm playing other games. I'm seeing how other games do things, and I just know what I enjoy from a story. I pay attention to the little things. And good thing they add a little bit more little things, but maybe you never know, Living Story might be a little bit better. They seem to keep getting better, right?
No, they don't though. I don't think.
All right.
This is
Anyways,
season
2. Don't worry. Hey,
this was
I'm
shorter than season 2, and it wasn't as good as season 2.
You're supposed to be what everyone thinks you are, dude. You're supposed to be the guy who says
I'm
Guild Wars 2 is amazing.
I'm thinking of doing like an hour or 2 long video, a long ass video, not for my regular audience. It's they'll take it or leave it. I don't care about these people. I want to do a really long video where I sit down piece by piece and say what was really good about it. Because there was some great stuff. Like I say, there were like some 10 out of 10. There are some like 9 out of 10 moments in this list. Like they did some really good stuff. There is stuff that I absolutely 1,000 billion% prefer that they did here than they did with Personal Story before. It's amazing. Like there really is. But then there's stuff that it's just like that makes me so sad that I think they're still doing so wrong. I had a pretty miserable time in the final instance, not just because it was crashing out constantly, but because
the game.
I hate that I can't spoil stuff.
We
end
should have
of
a
the
spoiler.
expansion was
I would like to
terrible.
have like a spoiler thing when we talk about stuff because I'm probably gonna go through it again.
We should because I've
just have that like a separate thing entirely.
They did some criminal stuff with the personal story that basically was like, how can you even try and write a story? Like you haven't the story is built on a premise and you ignore that premise for the entire game and then All right, so I can't. Whatever. We're
Right,
gonna stop.
right. It felt weird because the way it ended, right? Like it felt like, wait a minute, like we knew this from before, right? But I felt like the buildup wasn't there for the
There was some
ending,
terrible stuff.
right?
There was
Like
the pacing was all off.
I
The
totally
pacing
understand
was
what you're
all
saying. All right. Anyways, we should. All right. The
Deus
game,
Ex
the
Machina,
expansion.
That's all I'm gonna say. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Right. Oh my gosh. The
I hate
Deus.
it.
Oh.
All right, and that's nothing to do with implementation. That's nothing to do with
Okay.
budget. That's nothing to do with the amount of time that they had or the resources they had. That's to do with the fact that the people that sat down and designed from a broad scope how the story was going to be paced and structured did a terrible job. And just a terrible job, and did not focus on what was important, and gave us an awful experience in the end.
I
I'm
love
done.
you,
I hate
Bobby.
being negative.
I
Let's
love
move
you,
on.
Peter Fries.
Move it on. Look, I'm whatever. Go on. I just feel bad because I like the people and they're passionate about what they're making and stuff. And I don't want to be mean about stuff, but like I want it to do better than it does.
Constructive criticism. Let's tone it back a little bit.
That's why
The game though. The game.
Okay.
I would say it's an expansion so far. I need to digest every single mastery point before I feel like I can say more stuff. But I've played a lot. And I had to stop a couple days ago because I had I had to take care of insurance stuff, a lot of stuff. But those heavy play sessions that I did, I've enjoyed my time. It was fun. I don't know how long lasting it is. How do you feel about the longevity of like
the Heart of Thorns as a whole?
Yeah, so far because you've been playing every day. I'm assuming.
I've sunk a ton of hours. I think if you're talking pure value for money, there are two aspects of that argument.
Mm-hmm.
Aspect one is for the veteran player who's only getting Heart of Thorns stuff, and my answer is yes. There's value for money there. I think if I compare this to any other single player or whatever. Any other game that I buy, any other product I buy for $50, right? I've got more hours of Heart of Thorns out of a lot of other games that I'd end up buying. I think if you're the veteran player, there is tons to do. I barely even licked the last map. Honestly, like the metas and stuff, I've not seen the completion of a lot of stuff. I've got maybe a quarter of the total achievements that are available. I've seen 2 of the 9 elite specializations. I've not even stepped foot in Wild vs. Wild or PvP. I've seen so little of Heart of Thorns. This value, I feel like there's value here. Doesn't even account for streaming update value coming forward. Raids, extra Living World stuff, extra legendaries being dropped in, all that kind of stuff. Doesn't even account for that. I think there's value for money already. And then the other argument, all right, is not for the veteran player, but do you get value for money just coming into Guild Wars at all? And obviously the answer there is yes. Like I can say wholeheartedly, if it was worth $50, if Guild Wars 2 was worth $50 3 years ago, when it had no wardrobe, when it had no transmutation charges, when it had no champ bags, when it had basically nothing that makes it any good, right? If it was worth $50 back then, there is no way that it plus Heart of Thorns isn't worth $50. That's why. Did you hear about the Metacritic thing that was going on, by the way?
No.
Oh, dude.
No.
You're not a monogamer, right? You're not a monogamer.
No.
How do you view Metacritic? If you're gonna find a new game, how do you view it?
I don't even use it, to be honest.
You don't even use it. We both know that a lot of people do, though, right?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. They just want to see a number and like, okay, I should get it or not.
Yeah, okay. So for me, I am a monogamer. I'm pretty casual when it comes to playing other games. And, I can see some... I appreciated... Before this week, I appreciated Metacritic was flawed. But I also appreciated it had some inherent value. There was a lot of traffic there. If 100,000 people eventually rated something to around a 7, then I'm not going to expect a complete master. That 7 probably has some value, right? Like I'm like, yeah, Metacritic's probably a-okay. Like it's all right.
Yeah, there's a lot of trolls on the internet.
All right, yeah, well, so here we go. So that was my view before this week, and I never really believed that Metacritic could be gamed in any way. Now, you've probably heard the stories. You're much more knowledgeable about general gaming than I am.
It's happened a few times.
You've heard the stories about stuff like Fallout New Vegas, in which devs don't get salaries or they get laid off or whatever. I don't know whether it
based on the score. Yeah.
Based on Metacritic score, right? And how damaging that can be and so on.
Absolutely.
So in comes Heart of Thorns. I don't want to get into a whole discussion about the topic itself here, but rather the Metacritic angle. You don't really. You say you didn't hear people did this. What people did was when they saw that they didn't like how long it took to get hero points, to get their elite specializations, i.e., it took too long to get hero points, and when they saw that there was like mastery grind, as so they called it, right? A group of specific people, in the order of hundreds, went to Metacritic and bombed Heart of Thorn's score. 0 out of 10, 0 out of 10, 0 out of 10. Bitching and complaining and whining about grind and saying ArenaNet had like destroyed the game and like just genuinely really negative, like aggressive, false information. Bombed Metacritic specifically to bait a reaction out of ArenaNet so they would change the system. And you know what? They won. ArenaNet did end up changing the system, and some of those reviews have been changed. But Metacritic,
I was like, why do I have all my mastery points for these other characters I didn't even play yet? I was like,
Heart of Thorns when I first looked at Metacritic when this started blowing up, Heart of Thorns was voted like a 2 out of 10. Listen to what I just said, guys, about the value of the game. I stand by that. It is worth $50 easily. It was like a 2 out of 10 overall. It had like 70 reviews that were all like 0 out of 10, and it had like 13 positive ones when I first went to it. And then it just kept, the numbers kept getting bigger. Eventually people caught on to the bombing and they tried to like counter it. So it does now have more positive than negative. But this was a real eye-opener for me that Metacritic can be gamed by whiny, entitled people that like are doing very immature stuff. And Metacritic really is actually a pretty terrible website because you really shouldn't take that.
It is terrible. It's
like,
terrible.
Imagine looking at Guild Wars 2 there, seeing Heart of Thorns as a 2 out of 10 and reading the crap that people were spewing there. Like, you would think it was the worst thing in the world. And it's so off base, so magnificently off base that it's almost unbelievable.
It makes no sense. Why complain? Oh, I can't get this right now, but then when you get it, you complain that it's everything is gone. You completed everything. Like, what is the mindset of these idiots?
What I want to talk to you about though, like, yeah, there's the whole I don't want to grind and then they flee away or whatever.
What
right? There's
grind? There's like 4 maps filled with crazy dynamic events.
I know, I
and
agree.
mastery, like even the mastery points have content. Like that is ridiculous. Like some of them are gated by other things, and I that would make you feel like, oh,
there's value to that. I like that.
You want to add value to the points you put in. But
yes,
you don't want them to change anything. Like give them constructive criticism and they'll change it like accordingly. Like if you ran through and all you want to do is play the story, you missed out on the Lord Farron event in Verdant Brink. All right,
Which is a cool event.
South, like middle of the map, south, like you can't even say middle of the map because the middle of the map is like a humongous chunk of the whole damn map. Like there's so much going on in each little section. That little Farron, I was playing every single dynamic event ever in Verdant Brink. I would spend days in the game and getting all these 200% meta awards. And I just reached that little section where Lord Farron was trying to be a sword master. And it was
and you'd never done it.
It was a cool little event. Made me laugh a little, let me giggle a little bit. He's up there with like wearing underwear, like trying to be a sword master. A little chicken comes out, a little piglet comes out for you to attack. Like that type of stuff. Like how like you don't give your chance to experience anything. Like who are these people? How did they get up in the morning and say to themselves, I'm just gonna complain about everything? Like I'm sorry. I be real on this podcast. If you did that, I'm sorry, dude. You're a little bit of an idiot. I'm sorry. All right. Because
what really shocked me, right, was Heart of Thorns came out. I spent so long playing it, man. Like just playing it. I was playing it. I was having a blast. I'd play it. I'd fall asleep. I'd get up. I'd shower. I'd sort myself out. I'd play it. Make videos and stuff. Obviously in between. Playing the game though. Playing the game. It really surprised me that people were like, there was much discussion at all about the game going on. Like, really surprised. I was having such a blast. It could have been several notches worse than it actually was. Like, several. Before I'd even consider having enough free time to eventually go and complain about something online. Like, it was really shocking to me to see the amount of discussion. I had a question for you, though.
Yeah.
The Metacritic bombing, okay, and general criticism thrown at ArenaNet, right? What do you think about the fact that ArenaNet folded? Okay, and 2 elements to that. Do you think, first of all, they folded because of Metacritic? Getting bombed?
I haven't heard of an MMO company
Or do you think they
needing
did
to
it
have a
just because they
Metacritic.
genuinely like? Do you think they did it genuinely because they do a lot of iteration?
I think Metacritic had okay. Now it's up to 7.7, huh? Okay.
Yeah, so it has changed since. People have stopped. You'll probably see a lot of the crazy reviews there under the negative section though.
Yeah, there's 100
People have
here. It
left
just
them.
makes it. I think it was part of it. I really do think it was part of it because Metacritic has too much power. It has so much traffic that because and people, you got to understand, like, most people are very easy to be persuaded. Like, they see something on the internet, they don't even Google up to make sure the research is okay. They hear it on a video
Oh yeah,
and
I'm
they
the
say
same.
it. You see what I'm saying? It's
I'm
the
the
same thing
same.
here. They're gonna go to Metacritic. They're gonna see that it has a bad score. Oh, Guild Wars 2 is dead. Look at
They
these
will see the
scores.
7.7 and think, yeah, average experience, I'll pass.
I'll pass. And they don't look. They don't bother. They don't bother. Most people do not bother. Okay,
This
most people are
deserves a
very
9.
lazy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So my first question was, do you think Metacritic had a piece of the pie?
It had
You
a
said
piece.
yes. You said yes.
Yeah.
So now my question is, what do you think about the fact that ArenaNet caved? Because this is one of those situations where they have now empowered people to do this in the future.
Right.
People now know, all right, if I don't like something, I'll just spam the crap out of their Heart of Thorn, their next expansion or whatever on Metacritic. I'll bomb it, and they'll have to listen to me.
I would.
What do you think about that? Empowering people to do that.
I don't know. Like, the first thing in my mind would be like they reached out to us to be like, all right, can you rally your fans to go fix this Metacritic score, and we just don't.
Oh
nerf
my
it.
god!
Like, under the
Wow.
table, like sliders under the table, like, no,
But we could never take away those 102 negatives.
Yeah. But we can just overpower it. That's for sure. But like, what was the original question? I gotta go in a sec.
Question is,
Yeah.
what do you think about the fact that they did eventually cave?
That they caved, right?
Because now people are. It's literally. I don't want to get crazy dramatic. This is a really stupid comparison. We're talking about a video game. We do have to ground ourselves a little here.
Right.
But it's the same as your wife gets taken hostage, and you pay up to get her back. That empowers him, and now he knows he can do it again to someone else or to you again, because it worked for him at least once.
I think
So
they
he
do.
goes off and does it again.
Just like everything, just like dealing with a child, you have to choose your battles, because they're ultimately children.
Do you think they chose the battle here then? Chose not to battle.
I think
and it
they
was correct?
may have nerfed a little bit too hard, but they know something we do not. There's probably more going on behind the scenes. If they were having conversations about this way before it came out, of it, maybe it's too much. Maybe it's too long for them to get the unlock specializations. Maybe it's too much for them to grind out to get poison lore so they can go inside of the last story instance. Maybe it was a thought before. But I think they did back down based on the forum post. The forum post was like, if you did it before then, well, have a cold beer on us. Like, that right there tells us, like, they had to go back on a decision, and they're only backing down because they people complained and whined. It feels a little weird. I would say I wish they didn't back down, but they have to see the numbers. They probably know a little bit more stats than we do of what would have happened if they didn't back down. Because you know what happens. My friend was telling me, he's like, we know the numbers. When they were adding, I don't know if we could talk about this, so I won't say his name. We're
Keep it anonymous.
an MMO adding microtransactions, right? And people were going nuts on the forums, right? Saying, "Oh, I'm going to quit your game," blah 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 blah. They have a way of checking that. They check it to see if if they quit, and those same people who are complaining on the forums are buying $30 worth of stuff, $40 worth of stuff every month and stuff like that. So people just they yell just because they can and to get what they want, because whatever crappy life they're having right now, or a crappy day, even, it doesn't even have to be a crappy life, and people just feel entitled for it. So maybe if they stand stiff, nothing would have happened. the Metacritic score. There's a lot of people. There's a core audience for Guild Wars 2. Maybe they would have rallied together.
Yeah, I gotta
Reddit,
tell you say that, it was really depressing to look at it.
Yeah.
But that 7.7 is a complete.
And it probably forced the hand. The big guys looked at that and they're like, there's a lot of traffic going to Metacritic. We probably need to tell everyone else to back out. And that's probably ultimately what happened. The big guys were like, traffic, money, please switch that score, whenever they can. And I see 100 here. You said there was 70. So those guys didn't go back and switch it. Those are still there. Those are still there.
Still there.
So does it really matter? Did it really matter that they nerfed it?
Well, there was a Reddit thread where someone was like, hey, I urge you to go change your Metacritic review if you bombed it for a specific reason. But that's the point. I think I really hate to generalize people. I really hate to. But I do kind of feel like the people who put those blasting, negative reviews there early on probably aren't mature enough to go back and actually care enough to change it afterwards anyway, even when ArenaNet does listen to them. I feel like that's wrong of me to say that. It genuinely is. But that is I've got to admit that there is that feeling inside me somewhere. So, I mean, some of them are just the most infuriating things you can ever read, like really. And I get it. People have opinions, but opinions are based on facts. And some people are factually incorrect about the opinions they formed. Yeah. It's really sad.
It is really sad.
At least there's 200 people.
I was just sitting enjoying myself. I was not even bothered going on Reddit
that's what gets to me, dude. That's what gets to me. I was playing the game, man. Like, I have been there has been so much inane conversation about hero points and about masteries and about, like, friggin' a dev told people about the flex farm and now I can't earn money. What are you lot doing with your lives? Like, really, I can understand more forum conversation and community discussion and stuff when you're bored and nothing's going on, but I mean, now, really? Like, how valuable are these people's opinions anyway? They don't even seem to be playing the game. And again, that's another huge generalization. I shouldn't say that. Like, what? They spent an hour to make a post and that automatically means they're not playing the game. That's silly of me to say. But I did feel that as well. I must be honest.
Well, I definitely got to get I went way over the time. I gotta go do some stuff.
Yeah,
so.
Matt, this was kind of an impromptu. Well, it wasn't impromptu.
Yeah, you came late and then I have to go early. So, like, it was just terrible. But we wanted to get something out there. We wanted to talk with you guys. We did not want you to wait
2 weeks
another
in a row.
day. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure we'll both be busy tomorrow. So, we're not gonna be able to do questionnaire, but next time we go, we're gonna do a big question
Q&A,
time.
baby, big time
Q&A. Where we're not gonna even. We're gonna set up another game for next week. We're just gonna sacrifice all that time to just do a big Q&A, and it'll give you guys more time for the people who are have work and all that to play a little bit more Guild Wars 2, and form your opinions, and you can yell at us about that, and I'll probably be playing a little bit of Fallout 4. No. Next week. No. That's next
Fallout
week.
4's the week after.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Hey, do you think I'll have a gun this time next week?
I don't. No. They're pretty expensive. The ones I was looking at a couple 9mm, and they were like $400. And I don't know if I'm gonna spend that money like right now. I'm gonna get it as soon as I can, but I gotta save up a little bit of cash, and that leads me to probably picking up a couple side jobs if I have the opportunity to. So
are we going to talk about that maybe in a future pod?
Probably in a future pod. I'm probably going to be doing a little bit less videos and more trying to.
I'm excited for you to tell everyone what's going on. It's going to be cool.
It's not going to be cool. People are
it
gonna be
is.
like,
They'll be happy for you, man.
What? No, like, yeah. I'm back. I'm putting the dream back on hold, I think, and probably doing like weekly videos or something like that, or bi-weekly videos. Anyways, guys, I will talk to you guys another time. SoundCloud, we end at the same time as you.
Privileged SoundCloud. Look at you lot. You managed to lazy your way through, and now you've been rewarded with a full podcast. No exclusives you're missing out on. I hope you feel good.
I hope you guys are having a good week. We will see you guys next week. I'm pretty sure you'll see us before then.
Thanks very much, I guess.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming in and chilling with us. Hopefully we didn't scare you. All right?
Jesus, you had a scary story. I got a little bit scared earlier.
With you. you be the one to witness the birth of the incredible Nintendo Entertainment System? The one to play with Rob, the extraordinary video robot, batteries not included. He helps you tackle even the toughest challenge. Will you be the first to raise the incredibly accurate Zapper and play games like Duck Hunt or action-packed Hogan's Alley and high-flying Kung Fu, each sold separately? Will you be the one to experience the Nintendo Entertainment System? Comes with Rob, Zapper, Control Deck, 2 controllers, Gyromite, and Duck Hunt.